Hi, I'm Sarah Ray, and I'm going to be talking to you about gender issues in a disaster. First off, gender does not mean women, it means men as well. So you have to take into account that there will be issues arising for both men and women, but unfortunately, there will be a lot more issues arising with women. This is especially so in developing countries, as women have disadvantages due to their gender. This is also true in developed countries, but you will be seeing it occur a lot more in developing than developed. After a disaster, there will be a rise in gender-based violence as shelters leave women vulnerable, so you will see an increase of sexual and physical assault, rape, and trafficking of women. Along with that, a woman's life expectancy will lower after disaster, as women are not the first ones who will receive aid and thus will be overlooked. An account given by a surviving Chinese peasant after a disaster revealed that families tried to pull their rations, and often the husband would rule that any female children should be allowed to die first. Along with that, women don't always have contact outside the home. It's especially true in rural places in developing countries, so they don't have a way of knowing a disaster happening, coming, or occurring. So you have to come up with ways to let them know. Along with it, a natural disaster will impact a woman's economic insecurities. A lot of these issues will arise in a patriarchal society, so there will be a division of the sexes, and women will be seen as a second-class citizen, and so they won't have the same ability to work and move outside the home like men will. So women who lose a husband, they're not prepared to be the breadwinner. They've grown up raising the children, keeping home, taking care of the elderly family members, so they don't have the ability to work or have the knowledge of how to work certain jobs, especially once they lose their husband. They have limited opportunities, and they're not as mobile, and so they're also not the direct recipient of aid. So you have to take into account that there will be women who will just suffer, unfortunately, due to the society they live in, and you have to come up with ways to minimize that occurring. A recent example of gender-based issues was the 2004 tsunami in India. It was an 8.9 on the Richter scale, with a death toll of over 30,000, with 1.6 million displaced. But the main thing about that is globally, 3 times more women were killed than men. In places in India, 391 women were killed, while only 146 men. There was another place where 2,406 women were killed, with only 1,883 men were killed. Is it so due to the fact that men were not the primary caregivers of the children and elderly? So there's a division of labor. So you have the men, especially in these fishing villages, who are out in the fishing boats, out in sea, and they did not feel the effect of the tsunami. It just rolled under them in waves, while you have women waiting on the shores or in their homes for the men to return, and they have very little awareness of the approaching danger, and so they have very little time to escape. With them living in a patriarchal society, it really affected how they can survive during a disaster, along with after disaster, as women are seen as weak, and there were taboos in the fishing community that prevented women from entering the sea, and so these women did not know how to swim, and it was also seen as not ladylike to climb trees, so they did not know how to get to higher ground and be able to stay out of the rushing floods once the tsunami hit land. So you have a lot of women drowning due to the society that they lived in and due to the economic and social differences of these women. And so with that, you will have to come up with ways to prevent these gender issues occurring, as they will occur after disaster, unfortunately. In both developed and developed countries, you can't forget that it will occur in developed countries. It's not just going to occur in some remote country outside of America. This will occur in America after a disaster, and you need to take the appropriate measures to minimize that. You won't be able to prevent it, unfortunately, but you will have to learn how to minimize these issues and help these women who will need your help. Thank you.